All right, Eric. So this is a question that you had from yesterday. So I'm just going to scooch this over just a little bit. Okay, so you're talking the loudness in decibels is defined by this function. So 10 times the logarithm of I over I sub 0. So I is the intensity of the sound in watts, okay? And I sub 0 is the intensity of a barely audible sound, okay? So, and that's equal to 10 to the negative 12. So you got the first part right when it's asking what's the physical value, what physical value is calculated in order to answer the question, is the explosion a violation of town regulations? You're asking, well, how loud is the explosion? And remember, the explosion cannot exceed 100 decibels. Okay, so you were confused on the second part here, and so what this is asking for is asking you to, before you solve the problem, they're asking you to define each of these variables. So they want to know what the intensity is, and they want to know what I sub 0 is. So the intensity, if we look up here, the intensity I is 1.73 times 10 to the negative 2. Okay, so that's the intensity. So we'll just type in 1.73, and I'll use the keypad here, times 10 to the negative 2. Make sure my, oops, negative 2. So that should say, yay, okay, excellent. We go to the next part, and there's that I sub 0. So you're defining your variables. Remember, that's a barely audible sound. So that's 10 to the negative 12. Make sure that's good. Okay, so nice work. And so now, does the explosion violate the town regulation? Does the explosion go over 100 decibels? So if I look at my graphing calculator here, so I'll slide over, and I'm going to go ahead and type in my function 10 times log, and I'll put an extra set of parentheses there because I want my numerator to be 1.73, that's I. So 1.73, to get times 10 to the negative 2, you just do double E, which is right here. You can barely see it. I'll zoom in when I edit the video. So second comma, E to the negative 2. And we're going to close that off, and we're going to divide that by, and we're going to put that in parentheses, 10 to the negative 12, 10 to the negative 12, excuse me. And so we'll just go ahead and make sure that syntax is good. Okay, whoops. Delete that, go back down. We'll close off the denominator. Numerator, so there should be good here. And so our decibel level is 102. So I would say yes, this 102 is greater than 100. So my decibel level now is 102. So yeah, that does violate the town regulation. So man, if you have any questions or comments on those, looking at the I and the I sub 0, they're asking you to define those variables before you actually problem. Okay? We'll see you next time, Eric.